A ideia desse encontro, seguindo as atividades que o Projeto Paradiso promove, é falar um pouquinho sobre a nossa convocatória. É uma ação do Brasil no Mundo, que é o nosso programa de apoio à presença de profissionais brasileiros e projetos brasileiros em mercados e eventos internacionais. Então, essa não é uma bolsa propriamente dita, é um apoio para a passagem aérea, para que se tiver um brasileiro selecionado para o co-pro-pitching session do Series Mania. E a gente convidou aqui a Camille Cohen, que é Head of Professional Program do evento. Então, eu vou mudar agora para o inglês, para ela poder acompanhar tudo que eu estou falando. Camila, not sure if you understand anything, but I was just introducing our support and talking about Projeto Paradiso. For those who don't know yet, Projeto Paradiso, we are a philanthropic organization that support Brazilian professionals in the audiovisual sector. And the idea of this morning here, we have 45 minutes to talk about the co-pro pitching sessions at Series Mania. And Camila, I would invite you to start explaining an overview about the festival and the industry segment and the Series Mania, because not sure if all here know the event. So welcome.
Thank you, Rachel. Thank you very much to all of you for attending. So yeah, I'm Camille. I've been working for the Series Mania Forum for a year now. And I mean, first of all, I will explain a bit in a nutshell about Series Mania. So just basically, Series Mania is an event exclusively dedicated to TV shows. We are based in Lille, which is a tiny city north of Paris in France. And now over the years, we have become one of the main events in Europe for TV series. So we are in twofold, because we have on one side the Series Mania Festival, which is a public event where we have various premieres of TV shows. So think of Cannes, for instance, but for TV series. And then on the other side, we have the forum, which is the B2B event for accredited professionals. And I am part of the forum, and I will be mostly talking about the forum during the session, because I think for you producers, this is the main event where you will be attending. So just bear with me for a sec, because I have a presentation, and I will share my screen with you guys.
And when you mentioned one thing, because I know here we don't have only producers. So one thing is important for you, for people who is interested in the forum, is that to apply, you need to have a production company attached to the project. Here we have, I know we have some writers, I know some of them, hi Davi, and, but it's important for you to know that, so I believe Camille will also talk about that. And there is one other thing that I want to mention, I didn't mention before, is that we are supporting the air ticket for the forum, for the co-pro pitching. But we know the French embassy in Brazil, for those who doesn't know yet, they are also supporting air tickets for people who apply for Writers Campus. So Camille will take a minute from her presentation also to talk about the Writers Campus. That can be interesting for you.
Yeah, so, okay, let me go back to sharing my screen. If Rachel, you can just let me know if that works. There should be. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
Perfect. That's perfect.
Okay, brilliant. So yeah, so first of all, Series Mania Forum will take place next March from 22 to 24. Just so that you know, this is our historical dates, but last year we had actually the 2021 edition in August, because we postponed it because of COVID, because we absolutely wanted to have an on-site edition. But this year we are feeling very optimistic, so we went back to our historical dates in March. So Series Mania Forum lasts for 3 days. As I was telling you before, this is the B2B event for accredited professionals. So during those 3 days, we have various conferences, panels, pitching sessions, and networking events. So for instance, in terms of conferences that you can have at the forum, we have creative sessions with case studies of TV shows, case studies of co-production. We can also have studies of new creative trends For instance, last year we had a conferences on the true crime genre, and we also have sessions that are more business oriented. So last year we had several conferences on co-production mechanism or on new territories with interesting tax incentive. Last year we had Taiwan and Eastern Europe, for instance. So yeah, 3 days. Last year we had 60 conferences, and I believe it will be kind of the same this year. In terms of people attending, we had 2,100 on site, and then we have 400 on the digital platform. So yeah, we were quite happy with the number considering, you know, everything that happened last year. We also have various, in the vicinity where we organize the forum, we also have various places where you can have one-on-one meetings. And so the forum lasts for 3 days, and one of the 3 days is called the Lille Dialogues. So this is a day where we talk about the industry, but on a more institutional level. So we invite top execs as well as lawmakers during this day. So for instance, last year we had Jan Koppen, which is the president of Disney Europe. We had Christina Sulibak, which is the general director of HBO Max EMEA. And we also had 4 different European Minister of Culture. So, and each year we have a theme. So last year the theme was the audiovisual industry at the heart of European recovery. So this is the lead dialogues. And one thing I want to stress when introducing the forum to you is that we are quite different from traditional markets, such as the MIP or NATP, in the sense that so first of all, in terms of number, I told you that last year we had between 2,000 and 2,050 and 500 people coming in, and we actually don't intend to be much bigger. Maybe the goal would be 3,000, but not many more, because the DNA of Series Mania is very much to be a small and kind of casual market, and we feel it's a more efficient way to actually meet and connect with the right people. So, and also Lille is a very tiny city, so we pretty much want the event to be, you know, quite casual. Another very important difference is that we are exclusively dedicated to TV show, compared to like MIP, where you can explore all genres. And then finally, we are a development market. So what that means is that lots of the producers coming to Series Mania have a project that is still looking for financing, as opposed to bigger markets like the MIPCOM, where you will be mainly meeting distributors, trying, you know, to sell a completed TV shows and looking for distribution deals. Here at Series Mania, it's mostly co-production deals that people are looking for. So in terms of the type of people coming to Series Mania, you will have mostly, so 40% are about producers, then we have 20% talents, 20% buyers that are made of, you know, head of development or head of commissionings, and then we have 10% institutionals coming for the Lille Dialogues, and about 5% distributors. So that is also reflected in the kind of event that we have. So I told you that we have pitching sessions, and I will delve a bit deeper on those pitching sessions right after this slide. But we have also lots of talents coming to Series Mania, and in that sense, we have different workshops for writers. So we have 3 so far that are branded Series Mania. So the idea, and one of them is the Writers Campus, Rachel, that the embassy will be financing maybe a talent if we select a Brazilian writer to be on board. But the idea with those professional workshops is that, so they are all geared toward a different population. So the Writers Campus is for emerging screenwriters, while we have another one that is for duos made of an Israeli and French writers. And then we have the Dental Series Workshop, which is for professionals from the ACP countries. So we have 3 different populations, but all those people, so it's about 40 people, we gather 1 week before the forum, they will come to Lille. They will all be studying in the same place that we call the Creative Bazaar, which is another vicinity in Lille. For about a week, they will work on their projects, both on the script and on the pitch. And then during the forum, the idea is that they have a pitching sessions dedicated to their program. So this idea with those workshops is that, you know, all those writers, they mingle together during the workshop and they get to meet each other and to create fruitful meetings between each other. But also the idea is that when you come to Series Mania as a producer, you can at the same time find people to co-finance your show, but you can also find new talents to work with and to enrich your project on a creative level. So that's what I mean when I say that Series Mania is a development market, is that we want to be a place when you can find new talents, but also we want to be a support for shows that are at various stage of development. So, you know, maybe, so this year, for instance, in 2021, we had a show that was pitched during the co-pitching sessions, and actually the 2 writers involved, they've met at the Writers' Campus. So they met at the Writers' Campus, and then they went back the year after that to do the co-writing residency Israel, France, because one of them was French and the other one was Israeli. And then this year they pitched at the co-pitching sessions because they actually find a producer at the forum. So for us, this is the idea. And then also the final stage would be that the TV show will be premiered at the public festival. So yeah, this is the core objective of Series Mania. And then now moving on to our main program, which is the co-pitching sessions that I'm coordinating. So co-pitching sessions, it's actually the heart of the forum because it all started in 2013 with the co-pitching sessions. And then, you know, like all the conferences, the workshops just came after. So it's a pitching and networking event for producers with a TV series in development looking for international financing. So each year we select 15 projects. We invite the creative and productive team to come to Lille to pitch on stage. It's in the biggest auditorium that we have in the vicinity. The room is always crowded. It's a pretty stressful and exciting event for producers. They pitched in front of the crowd, and then we have a professional jury that selects and awards the best project with a 50,000 euros grant for development. So yeah, I put together for you the jury of 2021. And just so you know, during previous editions, we also had among the jury Christian Vesper, which is the vice president of Fremantle. We also had Anne Mensah, which was at the time director of drama at Sky, but she is now the vice president of original series at Netflix. And maybe this year we will have another member of Netflix. Like, this is still confidential, but we have pretty amazing people among the jury. And then on the day after the pitching sessions, we have one-on-one meetings between the project bearers and people that have shown an interest in the project. So that could be, you know, distributors, that could be podcasters looking to co-produce. And that happens on day 2. So this program was created back in 2013, and we have a pretty solid track record in terms of success. So we had more than 120 projects that have passed by this program, and now 32 are broadcast or about to be broadcast. So that's about 25%. In terms of success stories, we had, for instance, The Head, which is a co-production between Media Pro Studio, HBO Asia, and Hulu Japan. Later on, we had No Man's Land, which was the first co-production ever between French broadcaster Arte and Hulu US. More recently, this year, we had 2 series. So this is Black Port, which is an Icelandic TV show, and we also had The Last Socialist Artifact, which is a Croatian TV show. So they were pitched at the forum a few years ago, but this year they both came to the festival to be premiered in Lille, and they both won a prize. So yeah, for us, this is another example of what we want to achieve at Series Mania, when I meant that we want to be a support for TV shows at various stages of development. So those shows, they were still in development at the forum, but then in 2021, they were broadcast and they were premiered in cinemas in Lille, and they got prizes. So that is also one of our objectives at Series Mania. In terms of timeline, the closing dates for application will be on January 6th. We will announce the official selection mid-February, right before a press conference. And then the selected teams must be available from March 21 to March 24, and they will have to take part in rehearsal, the petitions, and the one-on-one meetings. To get ready for the co-pitching sessions, we have a coach that each year help the producers to get ready for the pitch. And they will also ask our selected projects to work on a video pitch, and we will give them €1,000 to do so, because we want the video pitch to be like extra premium. And they can use bits of the video during the pitch on stage, and then the rest of the video pitch will be on the digital platform. In terms of, oh, sorry, I have a noise in the background. In terms of numbers, you can see that last year we had 560 projects. So that is a lot. This is a very competitive program. But last year we received a very high amount of projects because the call was open for very long, as we postponed the festival twice. The call was open for almost 6 months. This year, for 2022, the call will be open for only 3 months. So I think we will go back to our average number, which are about, I would say, 300 projects. But it's still a very competitive program. And then for a while, the co-pitching sessions were quite European-centric. But now, as the festival is getting more notoriety, as the public attending is getting more international, we are really much trying to expand the horizon of the project that we select. So each year we select a few extra European projects. Also, I can see that Laetitia from my team has arrived. Maybe I can just stop for a minute and Laetitia can say hi.
Hello, Laetitia. Camille, thank you very much. I will go back to you. And
Yeah,
it was great to have Laetitia here, a Brazilian behind Series Mania. Laetitia, you feel free to speak in Portuguese if you want. Tudo bom?
Okay, wait, because we don't have lots of meeting space in our offices, so I think Laetitia is trying to find a space.
Sorry. Can you hear me? I don't see myself.
Yeah, we
Podemos te ouvir. Yes.
Estão me escutando?
Sim.
Tudo bem?
Tudo.
Pois é, que ótimo, né? Esse voltar, eu voltar a falar sobre Série Manias. Eu te vi ano passado no Nordeste Lab.
Sim, estamos juntos.
Né?
O Projeto Paradiso apoia o Nordeste Lab e é a primeira vez que o Projeto Paradiso apoia a ida de um brasileiro para o Series Mania, e se eu não me engano, acho que a Embaixada na França no Brasil apoiando esse ano também é a primeira vez. Então a gente acredita que vai ter um movimento de brasileiros se inscrevendo aí fortemente para essa edição, né?
Com certeza, esse é o objetivo, né? Que eu já comecei a trabalhar ano passado um pouquinho, justamente abrindo as portas, fazendo já uma propaganda assim, em português, né? Do Series Manias, do Nordeste Lab, no Festival de Brasília também falei de Series Manias com a Cibele Amaral, e exatamente com a ajuda do Mathieu Thibaudot, que trabalha na Embaixada em São Paulo. Eu acho que é uma ótima oportunidade para ajudar os brasileiros a vir para cá, sim. E até mesmo em outros projetos, né? Se caso há uma necessidade de não somente vocês se interessam pelo Copropitch e outros projetos também? Ou
a gente vai apoiar, o Projeto Paradiso vai apoiar com uma passagem aérea ao profissional brasileiro que for selecionado para o Copropitching, e a Embaixada vai apoiar para o Writers Campus. Então, são
que ótimo!
Iniciativas.
Isso é ótimo. Muito legal. E eu trabalho na parte comercial, né? Trazendo clientes do mundo todo, tentando trazer também, né, com o Brasil, a gente organizou com a embaixada uma sessão de matchmaking, que foi um pouco difícil organizar, porque realmente o Series Mania foi um grande sucesso esse ano em termos de espaço do evento físico. O evento já é um sucesso, mas esse ano, pelo fato da gente ter sido um dos primeiros a conseguir fazer, né, voltar a receber as pessoas físico, de continuar fazendo o matchmaking à distância foi muito complicado. Mas eu gostaria, sim, de continuar a colaborar com o Brasil e trazer produtores. Eu estive agora lá em Lisboa, encontrei a Amazon, encontrei o Thiago Melo, do Boutique Filmes, a Clarice, da Conspiração, né, o João, da Amazônia. Então, tentando trazer várias pessoas também para cá na próxima edição.
Ótimo.
Podemos até conversar depois, assim, que em termos de conferência, mas, bom, não quero atrapalhar o trabalho de vocês aí, a apresentação da Camila. Sorry, Camille, to speak only in Portuguese. Everybody's Brazilian, right?
Right. Brasileiros todos.
Except for me.
And it's good se todo mundo puder pôr a mão, quem aqui é writers, escritor somente, puder levantar. Camila, I'm asking them just to check who is writer and who is producer, because, okay, Davi, Mariana, there are some writers, and I know there are some producers, because maybe some of them will be more interested in the writers campus, and some of them more interested in the co-pro. I have one question, Camila. Not sure if you finalize the slides.
You know what? I just have one very quick mention on, the digital platform that I mentioned a few times in the sessions. Basically we created it during 2020 when we had to go full digital, and we improved it because, now most events will be hybrid. So we want people that won't be able to make it to Lille to fully enjoy the experience from home. And we also conceived our platform to be actually a tool that you can use throughout the year. So what we have is that we have a whole database, all the people that were accredited to Series Mania. You can still access emails, and phone number of like all those accreditations that came. You can also find all our projects, our talents. So for writers that are selected for our programs, this is still a good way to still be, in the minds of producers that will be looking for new talents. And we also have, of course, catch up on all our conferences. And that was pretty much it.
Okay, the dates and the deadline, perfect. If they have any questions when they are applying in terms of the form and everything, they can write direct to you?
Yeah, for the corporate pitch, definitely. And I can also indicate the address for the Writers Campus.
Okay.
Or you know what, they can just address to me and then I will forward it to the right person on my team.
Okay.
But
and I understand that who's here is interesting. Not sure if they could read all the information at the website. It's very detailed there. But they also say drama series. What about animation series or comedy series? Are they included or not?
Okay, so when we say drama series, what we mean is that we don't accept documentaries or animation. So basically, we want live action. And we don't want documentaries. But then in terms of genre, so, comedy, drama, science fiction, we accept all genres as long as it is a live action drama series. So that is what we mean. Also,
drama like live action fiction, not
yeah,
docs.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But we accept comedies as well as, drama.
Okay. I have some other questions, but maybe I think if someone would like to make a question, pode ser por áudio ou pode ser escrito. Se alguém tiver alguma pergunta específica, porque daí a gente responde diretamente a pergunta de vocês. Any question? Luane, Eva Filmes, questions? Eva? Ok, vai lá.
Bueno, mi pregunta, buen día, good morning. Entonces, mi pregunta va relacionada un poco a Proyecto Paradiso, porque un poco del pitching yo comprendí. Proyecto Paradiso solamente se pueden inscribir pessoas brasileiras. Eu moro em Brasil há mais de 5 anos e venho trabalhando com audiovisual aqui. Mas outras pessoas de outros países que moram no Brasil também podem ir a esse fundo que o Projeto Paradiso tem, ou não?
No, okay, just to Camila to be aware, he's asking if about our support, the Projeto Paradiso support, if it's only for Brazilians or if it can be also to foreign people, but living in Brazil. Vou responder em português. O Projeto Paradiso foca somente em profissionais brasileiros, morando no Brasil ou até não. A gente já apoiou profissionais brasileiros que estão em outros países, mas tem que ter a nacionalidade brasileira, ou a residência brasileira. Então, fixa brasileiro já, nacionalidade, né? Só corrigindo, nacionalidade brasileira. Então, infelizmente, se você não é brasileiro ou não tem a dupla cidadania, infelizmente não podemos apoiar.
Sim, bom, isso eu compreendi. Era uma dúvida que tenho a ser vários técnicos em vários concursos que vocês lançam e nunca passam, e agora entendi o motivo. Mas, tudo bem. Agora, isso limita a que eu possa me inscrever ao pitching? Não.
Não. Pitching é aberto para profissionais do mundo inteiro. Inclusive, I asked Camille if any Brazilian was selected before, e não, nenhum brasileiro foi selecionado antes.
You mean for the corporate pitch?
For the corporate pitching. For the corporate pitching.
Yeah, no. It would be a first,
right?
this year.
And for the Writers Campus, you had Brazilians before?
I will need to double check, but I don't think so.
Okay. But then for the corporate pitching, no Brazilians before. Tomara, quem sabe, a gente não sabe se pode ter. Então, esse apoio não significa que haverá, tá? Tem um júri que vai selecionar, um comitê de seleção. Agora, recomendo que, se você tiver interesse, por favor, claro. Acho que o João tem uma pergunta. Alguém falou aqui no chat, né, que tinha pergunta. Aqui, para o Copropit, já tem algum financiamento. Ok. Camille, he's asking if to apply for Copropitching, is it necessary to have already something financing or not yet? I know you have to present the financing plan, but if you have $0, is it okay, or there is a minimum to apply?
So it's not mandatory to already have some financing already in place, but if you have some, it's better. So we have already selected in the past projects that have zero financing already in place, but because we also take into account, the track records of the company, the creative team involved. So, if the companies have a very good track record or like some amazing talents involved, then we can do without the financing, but most of the projects that we have some financing already in place. But it's not mandatory, so it's a balance between different parameters.
Okay, and it's curious because at the financing plan that people has to present, you have the development financing plan and then the production financing plan. So maybe you can have something.
It's a very elaborate financing plan, and you don't have to follow it quite as precisely. But what is very important to us is that we have an idea of the total budget, and that also you can indicate the different sources of development of financing, and you can indicate if it's still in talks, if it's confirmed, if this is something that you would like to achieve, so that the reading committee, know your strategy in terms of financing. So it's okay if you don't have a distributors, but we want to know if you want to have one and how much would that be of your total financing scheme. That makes sense.
Great. And Luan Gabriel is asking if it's only applications through a production company. And yes, only with a production.
The answer is yes. If you are a writer, you can apply to the Writers Campus. And the deadline is actually different for the Writers Campus because it's in a week, because it's on December 20. So if you have questions, ask me quickly your questions about the Writers Campus because it's coming fast.
Okay. And I think, Mariana, go ahead.
Yes, I do have a question about the Writers Campus. I'm not sure if the website has information about it. I'm sorry, because I got in here later. But could you explain to us how would that process works? How would that process work?
So in terms of selection or in terms of how the workshop works?
For being selected to it.
So so in order to be selected, you have to be a writer, and you have to already had one project broadcast. So it could be a TV show on TV or on digital or a short film or a feature-length movie, but you have to have already one piece of work, out there. And this is pretty much the only criteria that you must meet to apply. And then in terms of the documents that you must give, you have to, wait, I'm not as fluent in Writers Campus as in the couple pitching sessions. You have to have a one-page concept that describes your show, and you have to have a personal statement, a writing sample, a resume, and 2 letters of reference. It's all on the website, but I'm telling you, this is all the piece that you will need.
Thank you very much.
And the website is very detailed. It's easy to understand what it needs. So it's very clear, Mariana, if you want to have a look. And I have a question, Camille, regarding the matchmaking, because I understand the 15 projects for the CoPro are selected, then they have the pitching day. And then after the pitching, they have the matchmaking with executives and channels and everything. Those channels and players who is going to participate in the one-on-one meetings with the projects, do they know about the projects before, or they only know at the pitching session, or do they select before who they want to meet? How does it work?
So yeah, no, they know before, because now we're very well known now. So at the press conference, we announced the selected projects, and then a few weeks before the event, we will put like a very detailed presentation of each project on our platform, where accredited professionals can access. So most of them, they know the event, and they will do their shopping beforehand, and they will request meetings. But then, sometimes you can have how do you say, love at first sight for a project, but during the pitch session, because the pitch is so good, so then they will also be able to request meetings right after the pitch and before the one-on-one meetings.
And also besides that, do you plan, for example, do you schedule in advance some meetings for projects that, for example, this project could be interesting for that player? So do you arrange the meeting with time in advance?
We have an algorithm that do it for us, because we are quite a small team, so it would be harder to, make tailor-made appointments. But we do help our producers to find the right people or to connect with the right people. And we also know that, as I was saying, the forum is quite small. So we know that we organize those official meetings, but we also know that many meetings actually happens, without us watching it, like at parties or, in some other places. So yeah, I was saying the forum is quite small, and the production team will be on the spotlight after the pitching session, so it will be quite easy for them to meet the right people at Series Mania. But yeah, and then we have an algorithm that creates a schedule for them for one afternoon.
Okay, great. And appreciate Gustavo from Series Lab, a partner also of Projeto Paradiso, is here with us, and he put the website here. Thank you, Gustavo. Obrigada. And Camille, if you can tell us more about the video pitch that they have to prepare once they are selected, because they receive some resource to do it. It was not clear to me that the video pitch, it's going to be used during the pitch. It was not so clear to me.
So the idea came, so in 2020, when we had to go full digital, we had to replace, the pitch on stage by video pitch. But then in 2021, because we were not so sure about how to make an event, we were going to make an event hybrid. We wanted the pitch to be supported by another support, that would be the video pitch. So the idea is that you create kind of it's not really a thriller, because most of the time, half of it is like images, and then half of it is interviews of the producer and the writers, for instance, that introduce the project. And then you can use bits of this video during the pitch on stage, but it has to be different from your pitch on stage, because those two things, they work together, but they're complementary, but they're not identical. So on stage, most of the time they use bits of the video, and then they just give the pitch. They can't write too much on the video, and we give €1,000. I don't know if you've seen, because now it's best practice for many pitching sessions, like the Copro series of the Berlinale does it. Many markets ask for a video because for the people who cannot attend the pitch sessions, it's a good way to still get an idea of your pitch. And we will also record the pitch sessions and put it online so that everyone can watch the sessions, whether they can be in Lille or not. And at the end of the day, it's very much a marketing tool for your project. Because, you know, like after the sessions, if I'm some exec from a channel and I couldn't make it to Series Mania and I want to have an idea of your project and its artistic ambition or its world, then I will just have to watch the video and I can get an idea.
Yeah, no, that's great. I was last week at Ventana Sur. It's a market in Latin America, in Argentina.
Oh, and they have video too.
Yeah, they have solo series. And it was great because two talents from our network were there pitching a project, and they were online, and some of other projects were in local, so it's different. And that's one question. If a project was already selected to another market, like solo series in Ventana Sul, they cannot apply to Series Mania, right?
No, we prefer select projects that are very fresh and were not yet introduced on another market. Sometimes we do make exceptions if those are very different markets with a very different public. But basically in the form, you can indicate whether or not you were pitched in another market, and at the end of the day, the reading committee can make exceptions. But most of the time we do not. We choose projects that were not introduced in any market before us.
Okay. And I have, se alguém tiver perguntas, por favor, levante a mão. I have another question, Camille. Not sure how we can answer that, but in terms of the stories, what people would like to see, what kind of genre and stories, what do you think could be more attractive for the jury and for the market to create, I mean, to present?
Yeah, I mean, it's a very good question. I mean, first of all, I think for a long time, those kind of programs, we had this tendency to choose, you know, organic co-production, meaning that the story itself was international. So, you know, you will have bits of the story in Brazil and then maybe another bit in Germany, and we would just be like, oh yeah, this is a co-production between Brazil and Germany because it's in the story itself. For a while, this is how it works. But now we feel that we can pick projects that are very more local in terms of story. So they can be happening in a small village, back in the forest or some random country. But because the story is so good, it's very like international because it's so good, it's universal. Then for us, it can be pitched at the co-pitching sessions because, you know, among the people attending, we will have both like big broadcasters looking for traditional co-production, but we will also have platforms that are looking for more niche content. And the two series that I was mentioning, the Croatian one and the Icelandic one, who both got pitched at Series Mania, and then they premiered at the festival. They were very local in a sense. So Blackport was in a small fisherman village in Iceland, and then The Last Socialist Artifact is about a bunch of Croatian workers in a factory. So this is very local in story, but we thought the story was so good that it could resonate with audience worldwide. So I would say that in any case, we are not only looking for international story. So this is one thing I can tell you. So if your story has not any international element inside itself, it's not an issue if we still think that it can resonate with people and it can interest some platform. Or maybe like a broadcaster like Arte is always looking for very local shows to finance anyway. So that is one element of response. I know that last year we had so many shows about World War II. So I would definitely advise you not to do a show on World War II because we had so much and we don't want anyone, we don't want no more.
Last year, just out by curiosity, did you have something about the pandemic, the COVID? Some shows
not that much, actually. We were very curious. Not that much. I think writers are still trying to find a way, you know, to make sense of what we are all still living. So I think producers put forward stories that were very escapist. So the pandemic was not a theme. So we have shows like, you know, sci-fi shows or with like a very grim version of the future, but it was more dealing with like climatic stuff like the rise of the waters and stuff like that, rather than pandemic, or at least not the COVID.
Mm-hmm. And in terms of horror, terror, or horror comedy, do you have like a mix about that? Or
yeah, we try to have a mix, because basically most of the projects, so a very classic project that we receive is like, you know, period drama. So we receive a lot of them. We always have a few in the selection, but we don't want to have like 100% of period drama. So we like to have a nice balance between genres. So last year we also had a sci-fi project. Yeah, well, I think we have a fantasy one. So yeah, we have comedy as well. We have a Scottish black comedy, a few period drama, sci-fi. So yeah, we try to definitely have a nice balance between genre, nationalities, and also between target audience. So we try to have things that are very, you know, for those big mainstream broadcasters coming to Series Mania, but we also try to have things more niche, because now we can be more bold in the project that we choose.
Great. And in terms of number of episodes or length of the series, it's totally open?
So we asked for a minimum of a 26-minute length per episode. I mean, 20 minutes is fine. The idea is that we don't want, you know, like very short form miniseries. So nothing under 20 minutes per episode. And then we want a minimum of 3 episodes per season, and it can be a miniseries or returning TV shows.
Great.
Yeah. I think we have a question in the chat about the Writers' Campus.
Okay, about the writers from Luan, about the Writers' Camp, how the professional letters of reference works for Brazilian writers.
Meaning, can they be from other Brazilian writers?
Luan, it's not clear to me. Não estava muito claro, Luan, você quer... É a carta das referências de brasileiros ou projetos internacionais que você tenha trabalhado, eu entendo. Cadê o Luan? Eu não acho nas carinhas aqui. Luan Gabriel aqui. Yeah.
Because I mean, the letters of reference, they must be from a producer, broadcaster, and or a faculty member. I don't know if that helps.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, who can write a reference letter? Someone who has worked with this writer, right?
Yeah, and who can, you know, give a testimony of the talents of this person, of the writers, and it has to be in English. Yeah, pretty sure it has to be in English.
Yeah, everything in English, I understand.
Yeah.
Okay, and also knowledge of the language, of course, to take part in the Writers' Camp. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, the entire workshop will be in English. And so, yeah, the application must be in English as well. So, and you have to
Luan has written now, he's asking if it's mandatory to send the letters or it's an option in the application form.
Yeah, no, it's mandatory.
Okay, so you have to. Okay.
Yeah.
I think we covered all we need in terms of timeline, deadlines, the word, and...
Yeah, and maybe just one thing about the material that you will need for the pitching sessions. I don't think so you need the financing plan, you need a mini Bible between 5 and 10 pages. So, you know, it's like a pitch document. So introducing the main plot, the world, the main characters, maybe like a creative statement. And then, so it is not mandatory to have a pilot, but we had this feedback. So we selected before project who had no pilot or whatsoever, not even like a treatment. Like actually when No Man's Land was pitched, she just came with like this 5-line to summarize the plot, and that was kind of it. But she was like a very famous Israeli producer. But we had those feedback from producers that actually when you go on to do the one-on-one meetings with podcasters or distributors, they will want to read more material from you. So if you don't have a pilot ready or a very detailed treatment, it can be quite frustrating during the meetings. And you know, you can, because after the festival, you will lose the momentum. And if like 6 months later, you go back to this podcaster being like, hey, now I have my pilot ready, it might be too late. So now it is not mandatory to have a pilot, but we tend to favor a project with a pilot because we know it would be more effective during the market for them.
Okay, and is it something that players who's going to watching the pitch, like the VOD platforms or channels, that they demand from you, like, we would like to see projects from this region, or we would like to see projects written by women? Is there something that they ask you?
It is not that straightforward, but in our reading committee, we have different profile, but most of the time we have mostly execs that are now like on a break during the career, but who know very well the industry, and they know the zeitgeist, they know what those people are looking for right now. This is kind of their job when they're choosing projects. So it's not that straightforward, but yeah, we try to guess what they want, and usually we do guess, because our reading committees, they've been working in the industry for decades now. And also, yeah, we try to have parity, so equal number of men and women. We try to have gender equality at Series Mania in conferences and pitching programs. So.
Okay, great. Okay, Camille, I think it's Mariana. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Sorry, just one last question. I started to work as a writer this year, so none of the projects in which I was included, they are out. So that means I wouldn't be able to apply to the Writers Campus, right?
Yeah, I think that would, because you need to have a piece of work broadcast to apply. But it could be for 2023 then, if not for this year's edition.
Sure, I'll do that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, Camille, is anything that you want to mention that we didn't touch?
Yeah, no, I think that covers it. Please write me emails if you have any questions afterwards. Deadline is on January 6th, or even about the Writers Campus, deadline is on December 20, so you don't have much time now, but there's still time. And yeah, let us know. We are always happy to help people who want to apply to our programs. So.
Great. So we'll be in touch.
Yeah.
And let's wait. Who knows?
Yeah, fingers crossed that we will pick our first
crossed.
Brazilian project this year.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Okay. Thank you very much. Muito obrigada a todos e a todas.